Hey, what's up, everybody? So, Bitcoin decided to break below the range, right? And this is something we did talk about, a very big possibility. The reason why is because, and this is a good thing too, by the way, and I'll explain in a minute, but you could see all of these points down here. I mean, you had so many points down here, testing it so much, right? And when you test, it's like you're punching a wall, punching a wall, punching a wall, punching a wall, punching a wall. Eventually, the wall's going to break, right? That's what happened here, right? Versus what happened on the top. You only had two on the top, and you have all of these down here, right? So there's so much engineered, right, liquidity down there. The market makers wanted this line to be very significant, right? You could see they're playing in this line almost very too suspicious, right? Too suspicious. So in other words, this to me looks like some type of liquidity grab, right? Because everybody has their stop losses here. Everybody's looking at this area, very key area, right? So to me, I don't really trust this move down. I don't think it's going to keep going down. I think this is part of a three-wave pullback, right? So you could see very clearly here we have a move, a three-wave or five there. We got three up, right? And then we got three down. Now, before I was drawing it like this, three up and then three down here, right? And then I assumed one, and this was creating a base. Maybe we would go up in three and then come down three later on and then start to go up, right? So that's kind of what I was thinking, but at the same time, um, it doesn't surprise me at all that we have three there, right? This looks like three. I was expecting this to come up a little bit more. And then obviously we would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3, 3, 5. So we know what it is. It's a 3, 3, 5, which is an ABC. And that ABC is part of the Y wave, right? So we have W, X, and Y. And it's a very nice looking three-way pullback now, right? And so before we were kind of comparing it to our wave 2 here, right? A, B, C, and we would want to go sideways and then continue, right? I mean, it had the potential for that. It really did. But since there was so many hits on the bottom, the market makers, I mean, they take advantage of that, right? So because they know what the reason why is because they know there's a lot of liquidity that's under here. So when they break it, all that liquidity gets tapped into. All the shorts get piled in, all the people close their longs, right? All of this money moves around, and what happens is they take advantage of that. So you could say, well, are they making money? Are they going long? I think they're building a long position here for another move up. The reason why is because look at the three-way pullback. To me, this is not how tops form, right? If this was the top of Bitcoin, then they did a really good job because it doesn't give me any indications of a top, right? So this is a three-wave pullback. So if Bitcoin is going to top, then we still need to come back up in three, right? We still need to come back up in three and then get rejected and then start coming down in five, right? And then it becomes so big that it could be, just an extension to the downside, right? But I don't think so. I think there's another high to be made here. You could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go get 7. I think there's going to be a 7-wave move here. And 7 waves is really just 5, but you're counting the subwave, right? So, for example, you could see this was a 3-wave pullback over here, but we actually hit the high and then we had one more low. The reason why is because we needed it to be equal in time, the same degree as this wave 2, right? So we have this wave 1, this wave 1, right? And it's kind of the same thing, just, this is our fifth wave to the upside. But if we were to dissect that fifth wave, you could see a little bit of green there. And then you could see this is your three-wave pullback. And now we have this here, our three-wave pullback, right? So you have 1, 2, and then we should expect 3, right? So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Let's pull some extensions here and see where we're at. We should be around the 1-to-1. I could go from here. Yeah, no, we completely broke the 1-to-1 because this is a flat. So you can see the wave came back up. Now, if it stopped here, we would be right at that 1-to-1. So we're beyond where we should be. I mean, we're beyond where we, we're beyond the 1-to-1. So to me, I think this is a spot where we should start to slow down. I don't see any big buy volume coming in yet. I don't think it's complete. I don't think it's completely finished yet. Let's see. Let's pull up some volume here. I mean, you had a little bit of volume, but not too much. Let's see. The daily chart, really nothing there. Yeah, a little bit of a spike there. The 4-hour, nothing really there. So one reason I don't like volume, it's not really useful to me, but unless it's really big, So the best thing we could do is just look at the wave here, right? So to me, this looks like 1, 2. Okay. So we have a 1, 2, 3. Let's get a 4, and then maybe one more 5. Get that bullish divergence, get that volume to come in here, right? And then start to work your way back up. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. I don't think this is the top for Bitcoin. I think even if it is the top, you still need a retrace. You still need another wave to correct the wave we just had, right? Because if this is 3 down, we still need 3 up. And if you get 3 up, then it's likely the top is in. But if you get an impulse up here and then you flag out, then it's likely we're going to go up. So we're not going to know until we develop this wave. But more than likely, we're going to get another wave up because we didn't get 5 waves. Now, there is one chance that it could be finished right here. So you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, right? And really, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So we have 1, 2, all of that's 3, 4, and then this is our wave 4, and then we shoot up for a wave 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we shoot up for our wave 5 right here, and it was basically truncated. We barely took the top, right? So that's the 5th wave is in, it's over, and the Bitcoin bull run is done, and it's over. And basically, this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is another. Let's see here. Basically, we have a nest of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and now we're rocking and rolling down for the 3rd. We're gonna get 4 and then 5, right? So that would be the bearish way to look at it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then you get 4, and then you get 5, and that would be your wave 1. And then you would go up into a wave 2, and then you would just completely crash into a wave 3. And that's what would come around summertime. And that would make sense. But you would still need all of this, right? So that's the difference between the bullish idea and the bearish idea. If it's the bearish idea, we should see it play out like this. If it's the bullish idea, we should see maybe one more little hit to the low, maybe not, but we need to see some consolidation. We want to build a base, and we want to start going up in 5, right? And then continue higher. So that's kind of how I'm thinking of it. You know, BCB actually put a really good, he showed that fractal, and he spelled it out really nicely. Listen to this. And then we'll go ahead and look at the altcoins here. So listen
the floor,
to this
ABCs,
here.
and then breaks, rolls to the floor, ABCs.
I'm going to speed it up just for time purposes.
Listen to this, right?
Listen to this.
Listen to this right here. A little brief high over here. That's also what we had happen back over here. So it's a brief high. Prices roll to the floor, ABCs, and then breaks. Rolls to the floor, ABCs, and then breaks. Works its way back up, ABC. Works its way back up, ABC. It goes with a clean break through the all-time high, which is what we have happen over here. And then we're left with one last little correction before the parabola gets set in. This is actually the same behavior that's just miniaturized on a bigger scale of what even happened back in here. Just like 2021 through 2025, we set the little high over here. As over here, sets the high. We talked all about this in that last video. This is also when we were looking for the top back in 2021. I referenced to this a lot. It did end up being the top of Bitcoin here in 2021 for that. Price rolls back up, ABC, rolls back up, ABC. Then we get our clean break happening in here in our clean break, right? And so there's a big correction coming out that happens right before the final parabola gets put into place. And so that kind of has to be the bet at this point, that that's what this is in here, that this will be short-lived and that it's not unusual to happen in here as well, where once again, the high gets taken, the high gets taken, the low gets taken, the low gets taken, right? You can see the initial support gets put in right here, the initial support gets put right in here, and then it just becomes a slosh fest in here to go take both sides.
So there you go. I mean, check that out, right? I mean, it's really, really close. And the fact that this came down in 3, I mean, you could see this wave right here. I mean, it's literally the same. I mean, check this out right here, right? You have that same expanded flat. So now we know what this is, right? It's exactly what XRP did in a sense, but it's just a little bit late to the party, which is an expanded flat, where you have, just like this example, this is the example over here, you have this A, right? A, B, and then you have a C wave, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we can be complete. And in the 5th wave, you want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 5th. So maybe one little more, little low. It's going to take time. We're probably going to be bearish all week. We're probably going to go sideways all of next week. And then maybe not, because if you look at this, look what happened back over here, guys. Okay, it's the same example we were just looking at, right? So you could see when we came down here, we immediately, like within a day, we came right back up. And then we started flagging out and then continue. So if we don't see this type of action, so in other words, if we spend too much time, like a week or more, it might be bad, right? So in actuality, we would want it to hurry up. We would want it to quickly reverse like it did back over back in the day here when we're looking at Bitcoin here. And then after that, you could see it went on to set one more final wave. And that's usually how they play the range, right? So you have your range right in here, right? And then the price breaks down. It's always the first break is usually the fake out, right? It breaks down and then it comes up and then it takes the top and then it's over. So it broke this side and it broke that side, right? And that's usually what happens on these types of waves, right? So they'll break the obvious side first, and then they'll say, oh, and then everyone will agree that's where we're going. We're going down, short, 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 sell, sell, sell. And then they'll bring it up and take the top, and then it'll just twist everybody up. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. So yeah, let's get into altcoins, but let me finish the video real quick.
Right, you can see the initial support gets put in right here, the initial support gets put right in here, and then it just becomes a slosh fest in here to go take both sides of the range, right? You're hitting stop losses on each side. So again, the idea of what we would end up seeing in here, let's play that again, in that I do see a possibility in here that we're actually going to end up seeing Bitcoin go for a slam down to the lows before the parabola kicks in, even for Bitcoin, and I'm going to say it, a new all-time high for Bitcoin, which many should know. That pains me to even say that, but that during that event, that is actually where you get that. And that.
So we could see, right, the range has been taken here. Let me just put a line here and then a line here. All right, so it's been taken to the downside. So if we were to compare that same type of structure, we would want to see it basically come back, right? Kind of flag out a little bit, get up here, play around, and then start to go for the high, right? And then it's basically over, right? And then pretty much that would be the wave, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And that makes sense because from time purposes, you have March, April, May, right? And you go up. And then June, July, August, that's when we get super bearish. So from a time analysis, from a structure analysis, from a wave analysis, from a range, stop loss, liquidity purpose analysis, it makes sense that the low, or I should say the top is not in yet, right? But if it is in, then what we should expect is once we get back up to this line, if we get rejected at 91K and we come back down, that's okay. We'll get 3 up, 3 down. And then if we try it again and we get rejected again and we can't get up and we start breaking this range, right? And we can't break even that range, then it's like, okay, now everything's changed, right? And then we just basically ate up all of our bullish months. February, March, April is our bullish months. May's kind of like on the fence, and then once you get into summer, it's terrible. And then you have to wait till like October, and then November, and then December, and then so it's really seasonality too for crypto, right? And we don't really have much time left. You know what I mean? So we really would like to see this thing, go for it. So, all right, what I want to really talk about is Monero, right? Remember we talked about Monero and the possibility of it coming down into a flat. Well, that could be what we're seeing here, right? So basically we had two options with Monero, and this is just an example of an altcoin. I'll get into other altcoins as well, but they're pretty much the same as far as, if their overall direction, right? And I still think the direction is up, but we talked about the possibility of this being a flat. So this could be 3 down, right? And this could be 3 up, or even 3 up here. And now we're getting 3 back down. So 3 down, 3 up, and then 3 back down, right? So basically, this could be some kind of flat here, like this. And we talked about that, right? Many times. Coming back down here and testing these waters, right? Basically testing the lower part of the range, coming down, building a base, and then start continuing higher. And this is your 3-way move. 1, 2, 3, right? So that's definitely in the cards here. So it's kind of like this, where you have an A, a B, and a C. There's a flat right there. Boom, boom, boom. This could be another flat, right? So you kind of got 3 up, right? Then you get 3 down. And then look at this. You get 3 back up. And then what comes next? 3 back down. Exactly. So we have a lot of 3s in here. So I don't think it would be a diagonal like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. I mean, it could be, right? But yeah, it's a tricky wave structure for sure, no doubt. But at the same time, we can't forget how bullish we are. I mean, this is bullish. I mean, the overall chart is insanely bullish, in my opinion, because of what it's done, right? I mean, we've had this big, massive rally, crash, retrace. We came down into reaccumulation. We went sideways for 2.5 years, and now we're starting to barely break out, right? And that's exactly what XRP did, right? Rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. We went sideways for 2.5 years, and then we completely broken out. So some coins take a little longer than others, right? But if we look at it from a weekly perspective, you could see we have a bearish engulfing weekly candle, but more than that, you can see we have a flat here, right? It's working out. So that was not my preferred idea. The reason why it wasn't my preferred idea is because I'm figuring, well, this could be our flat here. So we have 3 down, we have 3 up, and then we have 1, 2, 3 down. So 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. So that was our flat right there. It was a running flat, right? Remember the largest liquidation event back over here. So, and we basically did come down. You can see these big wicks right in here. So essentially, we did create that pattern, right? So, and it could be still the case, right? It still is the case. And what this is it's coming up for a wave 1, and now we're flagging out for a wave 2, and we're not going to have to come all the way back down here. But instead, we're going to make a higher low, this is what I think. We're going to make a higher low and then kind of go sideways a little bit, build the base, and then continue higher. So I think the low is very, very close. I don't think we're going to go any lower or that much lower. You can see we're right on this support here at 213, 214. You can see a very key area here from that point. The top of the closes there, and then you have the close here, the wick, right? The wick, the body closes, right? And that's exactly where we're at. So that's a significant line. Another line would be this one right here, which puts you exactly at about 204. So anywhere in this range, I expect the low to be in, right? Because I really don't want to have to break all of that. But you also have trend line, you also have liquidity using up trend lines, right? Trend lines that go to the upside. So instead of horizontal trend line support and liquidity, you have rising trend line support too, right? And you can see if we could put all the connections together, look at that. We're exactly right where we should be. We're basically right in the apex of where those lines meet. So what I'm saying is you could see this broke it, wicked below it, wicked below it, wicked below it, right? Many times. So what I'm saying is maybe this week we could wick below it as well and do it again. You know what I mean? But while remaining higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, right? So something like that, right? And if we crush through it, then it's still good, right? It's still good as long as we're above this range at 186, and we'll say 200 really, or we'll say 186 to 190. You know, I mean, you can even say 180 basically between 180 and 200. As long as we're above that, Monero is bullish. So we have plenty of wiggle room, right? And I never really did like this wave here because it looked kind of corrective. You know, all of this chop, 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 chop correctiveness. So a lot of times you need to chop, chop back down, and you can get that 3-wave shape. And then you also get a bottom, and then you get a double bottom. So you get a double bottom back test, and then hopefully a V bottom and a breakout, right? So that's what I'm thinking about for Monero. Let's look at the small time frames here. So the small time frames are getting kind of cooked, I think. You can see we're starting to get some bullish divergence, I think. Here's the 1-hour chart, and you got bullish divergence already, right? Already. So that's a good sign. And we don't even really have 5 waves, I don't think. I mean, we do have 3, which is good, and that's all I want. I don't want 5. But this could be 5 right in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it could be, theoretically, it could be finished. We could be finished right around in this area. But I want to see evidence of that. I want to see it to, we got the divergence. Now I want to see a little bit of sideways. I want to see an impulse. I want to see a pullback. I want to see some structure down here, right? I want to see some structure. Every time Monero comes down, we have a sharp reversal, sharp reversal, sharp reversal, sharp reversal. So I want to see a sharp reversal. That's what I want to see, something along those lines. so there we go. I think that's about it. I don't know if it's completely finished. Let's look a little closer here. I mean, yeah, it looks good. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you have divergence there. So I think I might add a little bit of Monero right now. I'm gonna pause the video and get some. All right, so that's Monero. Let's look at let's go to XRP now. Because we need to talk about XRP. That's our big boy there. All right, where are you at here? Okay, I think I'm on the wrong. There we go. Let's go here. So XRP, it's still doing all right. It's not too bad. Oh, look at that. We're starting to pump. Oh, look at that. We got an impulse here. And we got a little bit of a pullback, kind of flagging out a little bit. Maybe we get a move up and then a move down, and then we create that structure that we want to look for, right? All right, but we'll jump into that. Let's zoom out here. Yeah, dude, like our XRP looks pretty nice. All right, so here's XRP, and before I even jump into it, check out this beautiful fractal right here. So here we have XRP, right? It's versus Bitcoin, but same thing, really. You have this beautiful expanded flat A, B, and then C, right? And then you have a big wave up, and then you come back down, and you have a second liquidation, right? And you tag the low, and then we'll talk about that in a second. So if we look here at these other charts, right, they all have this move here, boom, 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 right? And then up here, right? They all have a big move down, big move down, big move down, big move down. They all came back up very nicely. Came back up nicely, right? Came back up nicely, right? And then came back up. And then they all had another big fat, let me go red here. We had a big move down here. Same thing with Litecoin. We had a boom, 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 boom move down, right? Back down to the low. Back down to the low. Same thing here. This one also had a big, look how big that was. Big move to the downside. Back down here to the low. Well, guess what? Look what XRP did. It did exactly the same thing. Another big move to the downside. So what does this mean? It means it's normal. It means it's doing what it needs to do. It means it's healthy. It means it's just playing the emotional triggers of the masses. It doesn't play with us because we know what it's doing. But for the rest of the people, right, who have no clue why XRP would be down today, or they don't understand, like, well, why does the price have to be down today? Why, who is selling? It has nothing to do with who's selling, who's not, right? This is trading algorithms. This is computers. This is derivatives. This is leverage. This is liquidity. This is not normal people just selling. I mean, a lot of it is, right? But that's because they're selling based off the reaction of the wave to the downside, rather than initiating the wave. Who initiated the wave, right? The trading algorithms, the market makers, right? And it's why we see these patterns that show up time after time after time after time, right? But people don't see them because they're, it's hard to put them together. And that's why, I like looking at these fractals, and shout out to BCB again for laying out all of these fractals side by side perfectly. So the one we were really comparing it to was Litecoin. You could see, we had this box here, we broke out, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down, right? So if we look at XRP, you can kind of see it went actually below. But if we look at, let's go to XRP versus BTC. Whoops. Whoa, look at that. That's way different than, okay, whoa. Okay, so what we need to do, okay, so here's the big thing. How do we know this is the real deal? You ready? We need to look at Bitcoin dominance, okay? We just had a big crash, right? We just had a big dump, okay? Everybody understands that. But What did Bitcoin dominance do? Did it go up or did it go down? That will tell us everything. Ready? Let's take, I haven't even looked. I have no idea what it's going to be. Here we go. BTC.D. I believe that Bitcoin dominance should have gone down. That's what I think, right? Because of what I'm going to explain in a minute. All right, let's take a look. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Wow. That is a massive bearish engulfing candle to the downside, right? Look at that. Look at that. So there you go. So, oh man, that couldn't have been any better. So what did we see, guys? Remember what we're doing here, right? Let's zoom out. Man, there's a lot to say about this, okay? So, first of all, this was the top. You can say, well, no, that was the top. No, that was the corrective top, right? Now, if we break this high, then it wasn't the top. But right now, this is the top. And this is an A. This came up in a B. And we got completely corrected. We got rejected. Kind of like Monero, right? How we have this kind of flat pattern that we expect for Monero, right? And then go up. That's what I'm expecting for Bitcoin dominance. Except we're probably not going to do that. We're probably going to have a bigger wave to the downside, but we'll jump that. This is exciting. The reason why is because if you look, this was a crash. You could see this was an impulse to the downside. This was a corrective move to the upside. So this was correcting what this had done. So this is a correction. And that correction took the top here. But not because it was bullish, but because it was for liquidity purpose. Now, if you look over here, we've had a big rejection to the downside, but it was only 3, right? And then look at this. We also have 3 up, and look what happened. When we came right back up here, we got rejected and we slammed back down, right? So this to me tells me that we have 3 down, 3 up. We're probably going to go down for at least 5 or 3, right? So in other words, it's probably going to make its way down here. So if that's the case, then what do you think altcoins are going to do? They're going to go a lot better than what Bitcoin is going to do, right? So let's go back to XRP versus Bitcoin now. That's crazy how that, okay, so look at that. Look at the difference between XRP versus Bitcoin and XRP. You could see it's a bigger candle. It's a bigger recovery. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, you could see it. But, all right, yeah, okay, XRP versus Bitcoin. Look at that. We already have an impulse. I didn't even know this. Look at this. That's why it's important to pay attention to the alt pairs. Look at this. We already have an impulse. And look at this. Look at the divergence here. This is on the 1 hour chart. Look at the divergence on the 1 hour. All right. This is what we want. This is what you would expect to see, right? So if we're going to go back and we're going to look at this fractal, then what do you expect, right? Well, what happened with Litecoin? As soon as we came down, we instantaneously shot back up, right? And we flagged out. All right. Same thing over here. When we came back down, we instantaneously reversed. We didn't create a big base and it took forever, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh my God, I'm going to kill myself. It's taking forever. It's so long. No, this is like instant. We reversed, right? So, and then back over here, look at over here. You know, we had this big move back up, same thing with XRP, and then we slammed all the way back down. But look what happened. We instantly reversed. So that's the theme here. So this should instantly go back up too, or at least it could take, I mean, it could take a week. It could take some time because, you know, it could take a little bit of breathing room in here. But we can already see signs of it. Look at this. Just within the last couple hours, we're already reversing, and look at the candle. Look at that. That's bullish. So, and look at even Litecoin. It's looking pretty good. Hopefully you guys bought the dip and you're long, because I'm definitely adding to my positions. I got, I think, 3 or 4 positions right now, and I think I'm going to add a few more. Look at Litecoin. It looks, but we're going to talk about that. But let's go back to XRP and we'll finish it up and then we'll move on. So this doesn't necessarily mean the low is in, though. That's the thing, because we could see this, for example, could be 1, 2, 3. We could be flagging out for a 4, and then we could still come down for a 5. Unfortunately, create that bearish divergence and then kind of go up. So keep that in mind, though, right? We could still have another big move down, all right? So just understand that. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's look at the small time frames here. Again, you got some bullish divergence. Let's see how much we do. Yeah, you can see we're oversold completely on the 3 hour, and the 4 hour is massively oversold, right? So look what happened the last time that took place, right? You have a big oversold, turned out to be the low, right? And then we quickly reversed here. So again, what could happen is this can come up, move down a little bit, and then this comes up, move down, and then you get that bullish divergence between the third and the fifth wave, right? That's what you would expect, or that's what you would look for if, you know. So, but we don't know if that's going to happen. If we come down here and we retest the bottom of the range, we're probably going to come back down to the bottom and then play around. But then ultimately, we really need it to go pretty quickly, right? We need it to go pretty fast. We don't want to spend that much time down here. So buyers, step up to the plate. You know, if you're bullish on this market, today is, yesterday was really the day, and then also this morning, right? So today is the day that I think people should step up to the plate and add to their position. Not financial advice. Don't do it. I'm just telling myself that. I'm not telling anybody else to do that. I'm telling myself, step up to the plate and let's buy a little bit here, because this is a very interesting area. Look at this. Ethereum. You got a 3-way pullback. I mean, it's exactly what you would want to see, right? So you got this impulse and you got a 3-way pullback. So it's all about creating a base or some type of big reversal here. And that's what I'm expecting. I mean, we're about to go into March, okay? And this is the most bearish we've ever been heading into March, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that the sentiment, the liquidations, think about how much money was liquidated in the last 30 days, right? And think about how sentiment is, and think about where the market is right now. You know, some of them, like XRP, a little bit different, but for the most part, it's pretty crazy, right? So, and March is usually the most bullish month on planet Earth for crypto. So I think it's setting up for something bullish here, because if we're, you know, if everyone's expecting bullishness and we're in a bullish month, it's different. But if everyone's bearish and we're heading into the most bullish month of the year, it could be very, very interesting how we reverse out of here. It could be something very interesting. So anyways, but that's Ethereum. I'm still bullish here, right? We got 3 down, we got 3 up, and we got 3 back down. And then we have a 1 and then an ABC here, right? I'm looking for a wave 3, flag out, and then continue higher. I mean, that's really what I'm looking for here. Now, this could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could have another low, right? That comes and revisits it, but that's, you know, that's pushing it a little bit. I'm already liking the wick. We got 4 hours to go on the candle here. So I'm liking the wick. I'm liking the shadow on that wick. It's telling me people are stepping up to the plate. Let's see. Trump, is there any bullish divergence on Trump? It looks, I like Trump here. Let's see. Let's go to the 6 hour. No, I just don't think there's enough price history. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I mean, I like, let's see. Okay, yeah, all right. So we have 1, 2, we have 3, we have 4, and now we have 5. So, yeah, I mean, I'm expecting a retracement, honestly, at some point. I just really not. I really don't like this coin right now because there's just not enough data. Not enough data. But I mean, it's Trump coin, right? I mean, come on, Trump's. I mean, look what Trump has done every single day. He brings in the president of France. He's in the Oval Office with all the cameras on. He's bringing all these different leaders in to the to the to the Oval Office, and every day there's something going on, like a spectacle, right? With the cameras on, and he's answering questions. Completely different than what we saw with Joe Biden. Like, he wanted to hide, he wanted to sleep, right? Where Trump is just a maniac when it comes to trying to get stuff done. So I mean, I can't even imagine what is going to come out in the next 6 months. So it wouldn't surprise me at all that Trump coin would do something ridiculous because of the guy we're dealing with, right? It's not an ordinary person. Okay, theta. You can see we got some bullish divergence here on theta. Look at that, boom, boom, oversold, right? Kind of curling back up. I'd like to see it kind of come back down a little bit, and then maybe go up, create that structure in here, and then break above it. But yeah, maybe it's just going to reverse on a dime like those other charts did, right? Again, we could be 1, 2. This could be 3, 4, and 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 has already happened, but that doesn't look like it's in the same degree. This to me looks like 1, 2, or actually 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's 3. And this is 1, 2, and all of that's 3. And this could be 4, and then we could still get 5 later on. So just be aware of that. We could get one more wave down. So we'll find out. We'll see. But it should be pretty close. All right, so theta on the larger time frames. So so now we finally have our 5th wave. So now here's the big question. Do we have the bullish divergence? Yes, we do. So basically, take the whole video. This is the grand finale right here. This is it. It's for theta holders. It's not XRP. It's for theta. The grand finale. We have officially bullish divergence between the 3rd and the 5th on theta, which basically tells us that this massive 1-year 3-wave pullback, right? Because we've been pulling back for 1 year, and that's hilarious that I said that, because back in XRP day, look at this. Back over here, this took one, and same thing with XLM. 1, 2, 3. That whole 3-wave pullback took 1 year, guys. From July to July, it took 1 year 3-wave pullback. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, when you look at XLM, it's exactly the same thing. I'm not going to show you for time it's the same thing. 1 year 3-wave pullback. Now let's go to theta. Okay, now theta, it's literally the same thing. We have a 1 year 3-wave pullback. So it took exactly 1 year. So man, I can't believe we've been doing this channel. I started making YouTube videos on theta right here, right there. Exactly right there when theta was 64 cents. And what I said was, we're most likely going to go into a big retracement. Exactly what happened. I thought we could maybe even go a little bit higher. But since then, since this big wave up, right, what did we see? We saw 3 waves up, and now we see 3 waves down. That's exactly what happened to XRP right before it exploded into the stratosphere. Remember that, right? Because look, back over here, it took way longer, the whole structure itself, right? But look, we had 3 waves up, and then we had 3 waves down, all right? And then you could see 3, there's 3, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3, 3, 5, that's an A, B, C. That's a 3-wave move. That's 5, that's 3, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. So in case you were wondering about the subwaves. That is 3 up, 3 down perfectly, right? So again, go back to theta. Look, it's a little bit different, but it's really the same. We have 3 waves up, we have 3 waves down, all right? And here's the important part. The 3 waves down, the third wave, this wave here, when is it finished? That's what we're waiting for. Is it, how long is it going to take? Well, we can see very clearly we now have 1, 2, right? And now it looks to me like this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this could be 3, right? And we could still get a 4 and then a 5. But I don't think so. I don't think so. Not right now. So I would really just say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we have divergence between the third and the fifth. But I don't know. Do we have it on the daily? Yes, we do. And it's really, really strong too. Let's see. Do we have it on the 2-day? No. But we have it on the daily. That's good. And it's on the 12-hour. So as long as it's on the daily, right? We have a low, lower low, low, higher low. So I think the bottom is very, very basically close to being in, right? We've been talking about the bottoming process for several weeks now. And I've stated, hey, that doesn't mean the exact bottom is in. We could still go down and test lower areas, but basically it would solidify the range. It would solidify the liquidity grab, right? It would do what it needs to do, right? So you could see, let's zoom in a little bit. For theta, you could see, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, right? And then you can see right here we have this. The fifth wave looks like to me like, oh, did it break the wave? Yes, it did. All right. So technically it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, a diagonal, right? So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, it looks really good. But basically, this range here was meant to be broken. So now that we've seen that, now look at this. This could be a Wyckoff accumulation, right? So boom, boom, and now we're coming down for our spring phase right in here. Here's your liquidity grab. Actually, let me draw it like this, right? Your Wyckoff, you come back down in your spring. Here's your liquidity grab, come back up, right? And then play around and then continue up in here, right? So this could be the low of the low, guys. This could be the Wyckoff schematic that we've been waiting for here. So yeah, with theta it was always a chance of breaking the low because of how close we were to the wick, right? So yeah, let's take a look at some other coins here and let's try to get through these. Same thing with Link, right? You had this 3-wave move, right? You have a 3-wave pullback here. So, and does it have bullish divergence? Let's see. I bet it does. Actually, no, it doesn't. On the daily, I don't see it. Let's see. On the 6-hour, I don't even see it on the 6-hour. Maybe because it didn't stay down here too long. I'm assuming it happened really fast versus what we've seen now. Let's see. Let's check out XLM. XLM looks pretty good. You could see XLM did not break the low, right? But Chainlink, XLM, they all have their 3-wave moves here. So that's good. That's what we want to see. All right. So let's see. Algorand took the low. You do have bullish divergence on the 6-hour, not on the 12-hour or the daily. Let's see the 4-hour chart. As long as it's the 4-hour chart, then we have at least but it buys us time, right? It buys us time. So, but yeah, I think it's really close to a bottom here. This C wave is very close to being finished, right? So you can see here, if I take this line, that's about how long it is, right? And if I take it and I drag it right there, you can see that's exactly right where we're at, right? So it's equal length, right? So we should be right at the bottom here. And and you could say, well, how come we're breaking below this? Well, most likely because we're creating some type of double bottom. But in order for a double bottom, we need to see some like that XRP fractal. We need it to instantaneously start shooting back up. Maybe come down a little bit, but ultimately, shooting back up. And that's what we need to see, and that's what I believe will happen. Most people don't believe that. Most people sentiment, their portfolios are down, they're very depressed, but you guys probably haven't been in crypto that long enough to understand. Like, I've been in crypto since summer of 2017, and I've been through so many of these negative portfolios and things like that, and it doesn't even faze me anymore because I know the ultimate direction, right? It's been so long, it's ultimately frustrating, but frustrating is different because if I'm sitting in traffic, I don't get frustrated at the traffic because I know eventually I will reach my destination. It's the same thing with charts, right? People feel like they're never going to reach their destination because they're stuck in traffic. Well, eventually you will, right? And it's just all about time. Now, it doesn't, when we're going down, 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 it doesn't feel like it because think about it. We've been going down for how long? We've been going down since the end of January up here, right? And really back in December. So we've been going down for several months, right? Down, 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 down. And that wears on people's psychology. It wears on the sentiment, right? So let's take a look at ADA. Oh, ADA, look at that. We have that three-wave move here. And we talked about this too. What did we say? What did we continue to say? Take the wick, cut it in half, 50%, and that's right where it should go. So this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and we could still come down for 5, right? So we knew that there could be more downside. So we can't act surprised like there is, right? Because we're in the range here. So it's not too much of a big deal, especially for ADA. I mean, it looks really great, right? We got this nice three-wave shape, right? And then we also have this three-wave shape here. So we have an impulse, three-wave shape, right? So I'm expecting this to continue higher. The reason why is because where's the fifth wave at? We don't have a fifth wave, right? We got a 1, 2, we got a 3, and then we have a beautiful 4. Let's go up and get 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's what I'm thinking here. This doesn't look like a top to me. This looks like a correction, right? A top looks different, right? A top could be like, look at the way this came down. It's a little bit different, right? Because we had to deal with all of this, and that would be like dealing with all of that, right? And then going sideways, and then going back up. And if that were to happen, then this no longer is a fourth wave. It's most likely a 1 2 1 2 or something like that. So, but yeah, we're definitely in some kind of accumulation cylinder here. So that's pretty much for ADA and pretty much everything really. Looked at Theta. I think Theta looks like one of the best ones because of the bullish divergence. It took the low, but it's holding up nicely. So yeah, I think Theta is definitely, you got one, two, three. I mean, you're right at support down in here. You got, I mean, there's just so many things that reasons for me to buy, right? Reasons for me to buy Theta right now, right? Especially this support zone that we've been in for so long, right? Where we came down here, we came up, we back tested it, we came back up again, we retested it, right? And in doing so, we created that three-wave shape. And then this wave in particular has divergence. I mean, there's just too many things not to get excited. Now, that doesn't mean the absolute low is in. We could still have a little bit lower, but roughly speaking, when you zoom out, it's pretty much, to me, it's looking pretty good, right? So, and let's take a look here. Look at Theta. It's starting to push back up a little bit. Let's see. Do I have another chart here? There we go. All right, let's zoom into the 15-minute. Look at the 15-minute chart, guys. Look at that. I mean, look at, you got an inverse head and shoulders right here, right? There's your divergence right there, and look at that. We're breaking out. I mean, it's already happening. So, I mean, that's fat. I mean, so one thing we don't know though is this a fourth wave? Is this 1, 2? Is this 3 and 4 and 5? That's what we don't know. Right? But even if it was, hey, that's even a better opportunity, right? Stop measuring your portfolio in dollars and start measuring it based on how many coins you have, right? If I had 10,000 coins up here and then we crash, well, guess what? I still have 10,000 coins. You could say, yeah, but those 10,000 coins are worth less. Well, worth less in what? In dollars. Well, yeah. But do you believe that it'll always be that way? Do you believe that it's going to keep going down against dollar? Or do you think the dollar, it ultimately will get weaker and Theta will get stronger, right? It's all about conviction. If you don't have the conviction, then that's something that I can't give to you. That's something that you have to have naturally based off research. The more research you do on the fundamental, the future of crypto, the technology, the fintech, the central banking system, the corruptness, the decentralization of the blockchains, right? All of that stuff, the payments, right? The debt, layer one, all these things. There's millions of terms, right? If we don't believe that that's the future, then what's the point? There's no point. We're just guessing, right? But I believe in my heart that this is the future of finance, fintech, right? Blockchain, XRP, Theta, utility coins. I believe that will be the future of how we, the tokenization of bonds, stocks, derivatives, right? They already said that that's what's going to happen. So it's already baked in the cake, guys. All we have to do is just ride it. All we have to do is ride the ride, right? We know where the destination is because they told us, right? You have the CEO of BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, told us they're going to tokenize stocks, bonds, derivatives, all that stuff. That's happening, right? And we don't even have regulations yet, right? So we're still so early. Right? So people think, oh, it's over. We're screwed. It's never going to happen. But at the same time, it hasn't happened yet. Right? So if it hasn't happened yet, that means it's still the best is yet to come. Right? The golden age, the best is yet to come. So we have to be patient here. All right, let's look at a couple other ones. I mean, even SHIB, right? You have a 1-year pullback. You have 3 waves up. You have 3 waves down. You're right at the support line, right? I mean, the area that Theta's at. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Right, all through here. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, we're such at a very critical area, and to me, it's a buying opportunity, especially when you break out, you back test. you come up and you backtest again, and in doing so, you created a three-wave pullback with 5 waves, with divergence. I mean, you can't get any better than that. You know what I mean? So ultimately, that doesn't mean the absolute low is in, but ultimately we should go higher. Litecoin, that's the one I want to look at. Where are you at, Litecoin? First of all, let's take a look at X. Yeah, when you look at Monero versus Bitcoin, look at that monster. This to me is the best bullish divergence in crypto right now is Monero versus Bitcoin. So I thought I had Litecoin somewhere in here. Did it disappear on me? There we go. There's Litecoin. Okay. So very bullish on Litecoin. Again, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, A, B, C. Look at that three-way pullback. It took a whole year to pull back in 3. That's why we see XRP, right, also had that 3-year or that 1-year three-wave pullback, right? You could see right where we're at here. We're back testing in here. But let's look closely. Let's look at the structure in here, right? And what did I say? I said Litecoin printed one of the most bullish looking structures because of the shape, right? We have to me, this is one of the best looking three-way pullbacks. It looked very direct. The energy in the wave, I mean, you could see how sharp the edges are, right? It's like some charts, the way they correct, they're very rounded and they're, but the Litecoin is very direct, like it's purposeful. Like when it moves with a purpose, So we have 3 down, we got 3 up, and then we have this beautiful 3 waves down, massive wick down here, liquidation, right? We took the low, we took the range in here, right? And here's the top. And guess what that was? This was the liquidity grab. This was the Wyckoff accumulation, the spring. This was also a WXY, a 3-wave pullback, right? So what now? Well, since we had this, we've had all of this right in here. Well, what is that? Well, to me, it looks like a 5-wave move with a 3-wave pullback. Look at this. 4 waves, 4-hour chart. We could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And then we have A, B, and then we have C. So that's kind of the best I got right now. You could see we pulled all the way back down here, which is a very key area, right in this support area, retesting the tops of here, the bottoms of here. So where we're at right now is a very key point. And I think this area will hold. I don't think we're going to go any lower. I think that was the low, right? I mean, we could have one more low, but I just, like for example, we could have 1, 2, 3. This could be up a 4 and then a 5. And then we test it one more time down here, right? And then go up. I mean, that's certainly possible. But look what I tweeted out. So if you want to follow me on X, you can. Brandon Law XRP. So here's my chart I shared, saying that we're really bullish, right? So if this was a completed 3-wave move and this was a wave 1, well, what do we need? We need to come down to get a wave 2 and then go up, right? So here's your wave 1. Now we're coming down for a wave 2, and then we want to go up for our wave 3. So that's exactly what we're getting, right? So now we see it, right? Here's your 3-wave pullback, your WXY. Here's your 1, 2, 3, right? And now we're flagging out for a wave 2. We want to build a little bit of a base or quickly get out of there. I think this is it, man. I don't know. I just feel like the market is faking everyone out right now. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. We could be in a bear market. We could be going down. Our portfolios could be getting destroyed over the next couple months. It's totally possible. But I don't believe it. I don't think so. Based off what I see in the charts here, I think it looks great. So let's look at the smaller time frames here. Man, look at that. It's already pumping, dude. You know, I should have bought more down in here. I should have loaded up here a little bit. But this is normal. So we have 3 up. All right. So I'd like to see 4 and 5, and then I'd like to see a 3-way pullback. Or we have 3 up. Let's get 3 down, come back down here, and then get 5 up. That would be nice to see as well. So yeah, Filecoin looks pretty. You know, again, we tested this 50% of this wick here, 3-way pullback. We talked about that. So I mean, everything's pretty much intact. Let's see, Matic here. Where is the RSI? There we go. Oh, look at that. We have bullish divergence on the RSI on the 12-hour and the daily. So it looks really good. I think I might pick up some Matic. I mean, look at that. Look how many waves. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, how many waves are you going to go down before it doesn't go down anymore? Right? This one kind of had like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then all of that's 5. That's 6, and that's 7. Right? So you get that bullish divergence. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. It's gone on long enough. I know most people don't feel like excited and happy and feeling good, and that's understandable. But as year goes by, another year goes by, another years go by, eventually people will start to feel like, okay, I've been through this before, I know what to expect, I know where my emotions were then, I know how to handle them now. You know, all of these things, it's all a learning process, right? And most people are very emotional when it comes to simple moves up and down, right? And we really didn't go down that much. Basically, we went down just that much, right? But it really completed 1, 2, 3. You know, it completed a 5-wave move there, right? So, you know. So, anyways, that'll do it for this video. Again, it's not financial advice. I could be wrong. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, why are we here in the first place? We're here as an investor, right? So, and you know, it's all about trying to get the best bang for your dollar. And the best way to do that is simply dollar cost averaging. But this to me doesn't look like a top, right? It looks like this is working. It's going to work its way back up. Now, we don't know. We have to see here. But if we start breaking back below this line again, basically put it this way, if we break below $2, then we'll know, hey, something's wrong. But as long as we're in this area, then I'm looking at big upside because of this flat here, right? So same thing with all the rest of the coins out there. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But anyways, I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.